Good morning to one and all present here. My name is Ridham Agrawal of Standard 11C and today I am going to speak on the topic of unemployment. But before I start my speech, I would like to ask you all a very simple question. How many of us will like to get unemployed in the future? Well, certainly none of us would like to be unemployed, but the statistics show otherwise. The average unemployment rate of the world in 2023 was 5%, while India's average unemployment rate was more than 8%. Now, some might argue that these are very small numbers, but mind it that these are only percentages and the real numbers are behind them. The real numbers suggest that there are more than 40 crore people in the world who are unemployed, and in India alone, there are more than 11 crore people who are seeking jobs. This is a huge problem since India is a very populated country, and in order to employ so many people, there is a need for job creation, something with which India has always struggled for. In the past 10 years, we were told that if you get a degree, then you are guaranteed a job. But today, it is not even guaranteed that if you get a degree, you get a job. So, it is much more important for us to focus on our skills rather than only degree. Now, there are many problems, many causes of unemployment like overpopulation, automation of industries, lack of job creation, and many more. In the recent years, the economist suggests that due to the development of the AI industry, it is also said that the unemployment problem will only get worse and worse. This is a huge concern, particularly for India, since it has a population of more than 1.4 billion, which accounts for more than 17% of the world's total population. So, what can we do in order to solve the problem? Well, there are reports by the Election Commission of India that suggest that the education sector alone can provide for 50 lakh jobs. And another report suggests that the tourism sector alone, if developed properly, can provide for 5 crore jobs that can solve almost half of India's current unemployment problems. So, what is the government doing? So, I would like to say that we need to present the government that the tourism sector indeed can be very helpful to not only stop unemployment but also boost the Indian economy. At last, I would request you all that let us build a future together where everyone is given equal opportunities regardless of their circumstance. Thank you.
Democracy is the worst form of government. Yes, you heard me correctly. Democracy is the worst form of government. And who said so? Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Britain, one of the oldest democracies of the world. And he said, democracy is the worst form of government, but far, far better than any other form of government that mankind have used till now. And this was his way of saying that democracy is the best form of government, and that is my topic. A very warm good morning to one and all present here. Today I, Sharanya Sharma of Standard 11B, is going to speak on the topic, can democracy save the world? Yes, it can. It surely can. I understand democracy as the only form of government which gives to the weak the same chance, the same power, and the same rights as it gives to the strong. As Gandhi has said, for achieving real victory, giving ballot in every hand is always better than giving bullet in every hand. And this giving of ballot in every hand is only possible in a democracy. That is why democracy is the best form of government and it can only save the world. We live in a society, we live with other people. So, we cannot do whatever we want. We must accept some constraints. But the main issue is, these constraints must be reasonable and same for everyone. No discrimination should be done against you just because you are a woman, or just because you are a black, or just because you are a Jew, or a Muslim, or a Sikh, or a Christian. And this kind of equality can only be given in a democracy. That is why democracy is the best form of government and it can only save the world. We all know that general elections have started. Elections are the test of democracies. and our country is going through this test. So I hope, I wish, and I pray that our country passes through this test with flying colors. Thank you.
My grandfather used to say that once in your life you need a doctor, a lawyer, a policeman, and a preacher. But 3 times a day, every day, you need a farmer. Good morning to everyone present over here. This is Shikha Kumari of class 12D, and I am here to present my views on the topic, the goal of life is living agriculture with culture. As we all know, agriculture is the backbone sector of Indian economy and also to many other countries. It has been practiced in our country from thousands of years. Now in this modern era, the use of new technology and equipment have replaced almost all the traditional methods of farming. Agriculture sector has not only contributed to the growth of itself, but also to many other sectors of the country. India largely depends upon agriculture sector. Like post-independence, we used to export food grains from other countries to fulfill our demands. But after Green Revolution, we have become self-sufficient and started exporting our surplus to other countries. There are a variety of pesticides and fertilizers which help us to grow more food crops as compared to what we used to grow in the olden times. Agriculture sector is a major contributor to GDP and national income of the country. It employs around 80% of the total employed people. Moreover, it forms around 70% of our total exports. In most of the countries, agriculture is a major source of livelihood. It entails hard work but also contributes to nation's food safety and health. It is a reliable source of income for many peoples of our countries and economy prior to the Industrial Revolution. At last, I would like to say that a large population from every developing country rely for their livelihood on agriculture. Thank you.
We realize the importance of our voices only when we are silenced. The most powerful quote said by one of the most inspirational personality, Malala Yousafzai. This quote is a reality check and a poignant reminder for all of us present here. A very warm welcome to all. It gives me immense pleasure to stand here and put my views in front of you all. I am Prachi Kapoor from Standard 11B and I am here to remind you about the importance of your voice, the importance of our voice. Our voices are so powerful that it can be used as a catalyst for the change around us. Our voices are the expression of our thoughts. That's why they are so powerful. It is often said, right, that we value something only when it is snatched from us. The same situation goes for our voices too. We don't realize its importance and its value unless and until it has been silenced. It has been oppressed or suppressed by some or the other. One voice, one true voice can change, make, inspire, motivate, and can even become a beacon of hope for someone. So be that beacon of hope. We all are so blessed that we have voices, right? That may even sound silly also. That who doesn't have a voice? Everyone has. But we have this freedom of voice. We have freedom of speech. And can you tell me that all the people across the globe have this freedom of speech? No, right? Everyone doesn't have this freedom of speech. So it is our duty to help them to speak. Who want to speak up for the right, for their rights, it is our duty to help them, to speak up for them, to ignite the lamp of courage and power in them so that they can stand against the wrong for the right. Voices are powerful. The power of true voice can be seen in the Quit India movement. The need of the voice can be seen in the freedom struggle of our nation. And its importance can be seen in the implementation of laws and orders in the present situations. This is the importance of the voice. You talk about importance, it is so important that it can form the government of our nation. So while ending, I would like to say that the voice should hold the power of truth in it, that even a voiceless can be heard. Even if the room is filled with the voices of fake words, one true single voice can echo. So being the youth of the nation, being the educated youth of the nation, it is our duty to raise the voice for the right. With this, I take your leave. Thank you so much.
Before I say anything, I would like to start my speech with a story. A sad story of a little boy who lived in France and the area where he lived was captured by the Germans. And we all know when a country is captured by another, people suffer. But this little boy suffered even more. He was not allowed to speak in French, to read and write in French, and thus his voice was taken away. And that is my topic. Good morning to one and all. My name is Ashmi and I am the student of class 12E. And today I am here to present my views on the topic. We realize the importance of our voices when it is taken away from us. In this contemporary world, it is easy to take granted the privilege of having a voice. The right to express ourselves, the right to keep ourselves first are the things that matters the most. These are the fundamental freedom we enjoy, but do not give much importance to until it is taken or snatched away from us. Do we really understand the importance of our voices? Do we really understand the importance of our voices? Do we use it boldly, confidently? Or do we let fear, apathy, indifference silence us? Each of us have different ideas, perspectives, and experiences. Our voice can motivate others, affect change, and can even be a beacon of hope. We all inherit different powers, but the noises and distraction of this modern and busy world obscure it. If we consciously silence ourselves, we lose the ability to connect, to grow, and effect change. If we want our voices to be potent, we must express ourselves. Moreover, having a voice doesn't mean speaking. It is also about being unheard. But being unheard doesn't mean to stop. Even if we are unvalued, we are ignored, we must raise our voice higher and higher. At last, I would like to conclude saying that we must raise our voices confidently, empathetically in a world where we expect our voices to be clear and heard. Thank you.
As Nelson Mandela once said, to people deny their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. The concept of human rights holds great significance in our life, especially in the today's world when the exploitation is increasing day by day. The exploitation has been reported more than ever. It's an honor to be here with you all today. Good morning, dear Principal Ma'am, honorable judges, respected teachers, and all my dear friends. I am Manjeet Kumar Matha of class 11A, and I would like to utilize this opportunity to share my views on the topic human rights and their relevance in the today's world. All people on earth have this right, no matter who they are or where they are from. It exists to safeguard against harms and violations. Let us first understand what exactly human rights entails. Broadly speaking, human rights are such rights which each individual gets entitled to by the virtue of their birth and nationality. These rights are considered to be indispensable for any human being, irrespective of their caste, color, language, community, nationality, etc. Different countries have their own set of legislatively backed human rights, which its citizens are entitled to, but the basic theme across is the same: to provide each of its citizens equal rights and not to discriminate among them. The concept of human rights is constantly evolving over the period of time. There have been some basic tenets in the way human societies function, recognizes the importance of giving each individual access to certain rights. The society recognizes the rights of individuals and respect them. These rights across the society varies for different individuals, although the basic concept is that all citizens are equal. The definition of citizens is vastly varied, and the qualification of being an individual here defined is in the larger sense. Unlike the definition of citizens in the earlier society. There were many people who fall beyond the gambit of citizens and hence do not have a statutory backing to their human rights. In many countries, human rights is considered and made it as a part of their constitutional provisions. The countries which have not yet recognized the basic equality for all of its citizens are trying to bring in changes. These countries faces the challenge of deep-rooted stigma and discrimination carrying from many centuries. In many cases, a group of individuals are denied to their basic human rights. This is because of the lack of awareness what they are entitled to. So, as the responsible citizens, we all are requested to make people aware of what they are entitled to or what rights they are having. So, it is also our duty to ensure that no one's right gets violated by any people or individual. Thank you.
Before I would start, I would like to share an incident with you. When our constitution was being made, every aspect, every article was discussed and debated. But there was only one thing which does not need any discussion or debate. Every individual was immediately ready to accept it. Do you know what was it? It was the universal adult franchise. It means the right to vote was given to every individual and without discriminating with their creed, religion, caste or gender. Women were also provided by the right to vote opportunity, and that was one of the way of empowering women. Good morning to all the respected personalities and my dear friends. I, Ria of class 11E, would like to share my opinions on the topic women empowerment. Today, I would like to raise the issue of women empowerment in front of you all, as well as reach the message about the real condition of women in our society. As we all know that without women, we could not be able to perform our daily routines. Women in the home are generally responsible for all the household activities. You know, it is a big question that why only women? Why not men are responsible for the same? Why not men are responsible for all the household activities? Why only women are given pressure by the family and the society to get up early in the morning, to do all the household chores, to do puja, to keep fast for the wellness and prosperity of the family. You know, it is a matter of laugh that women are promoted to learn the household activities from the childhood only. However, they are demoted to learn the outside works and leaderships like men. My dear friends, as being the youth and the younger generation of the society, we, the new generation, should decide our own bright future by meeting hand to women in all aspects of life. What happened till the day it happened, but now it is the time to awake ourselves. It is the time to awake ourselves because we already have been so late and would be late forever if we sleep now even for a little moment. My dear audience, as we read in our history, women faced many social challenges and were promoted to be in the household and with limited extent. Many people also think that women are a source of investing money and weakening the economic status. However, they don't think that women are half power who can be full power by meeting with men. Women too need to empower themselves by being strong from heart and think from mind. Government should provide all the reservation and education right to women in all aspects. Not only the secondary education, but also the higher education, so that women could definitely show their power and totally existent in this human world according to their dependence. Poor performance or women empowerment is also because of the gender inequality in our country. According to the statistics, it has been seen that the sex ratio in many parts of the country had dropped and became 850 females per 1,000 males. According to the Global Human Development Report of 2013, our India has ranked number 132 among the 148 countries for the Gender Inequality Index. Women belonging to the minority, scheduled tribes, scheduled castes, and lower breed face high level of exploitation, discrimination, and less job opportunities. At last, I would like to say that women empowerment and gender equality are the two main key strategies to bring a transformational change in this society. Thank you.
In life, we often wonder about our purpose. Is it about success, fame, or wealth? Or is there something different waiting to be discovered? A very pleasant good morning to one and all present here. I, Nisha Sorin of Standard 11D, stand before you to advocate for a timeless philosophy that resonates through the corridor of history. The goal of life is living in agreement with nature. Nature teaches us through its beauty and balance. It's all about living simply, respecting all life, and understanding our connection with the world around us. When we follow nature's rhythm, we find energy and joy. It's not about going backwards, but about using new ideas that respect the environment. Nature, the silent orchestrator of our universe, whispers his wisdom through every leaf that rustles in the wind, every wave that kisses the shore, and every creature that roams the earth. It is a symphony of harmony, a blueprint for equilibrium, and a masterclass in sustainability. Living in agreement with nature is not a retreat from progress, but a leap towards a more sustainable future. It is a call to embrace innovation rooted in ecological wisdom, to forge partnership with the nature world, and to harness its infinite potential for the betterment of all. As we stand at the crossroads of history, confronted by pressing environmental challenges and existential threats, the wisdom of living in agreement with nature beckons us like a guiding star in the night sky. It reminds us that our fate is intertwined with the fate of our planet, that the choices we make reverberates across the web of life. So, the time to act is now. So let us heed the call of nature, let us walk hand in hand with the earth, and let us strive to live in harmony with all being. For embracing this timeless philosophy, we embark on a journey of discovery, of connection, and of profound transformation. Thank you.
Injustice somewhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Good morning to one and all present here. This is Muskan Singh from class 12D, and today I am going to speak on a very profound quote that states, to deny people from their human rights is to challenge their very humanity, which was said by the great Nelson Mandela. Who was Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela was the first black Prime Minister of South Africa. He himself was a great revolutionary and an iconic figure who dedicated his whole life for the fight against the apartheid in South Africa. This profound quote shows the intense link between human rights and humanity. What are human rights? Human rights refer to the fundamental entitlement which belongs to each and every person, regardless to their nationality, caste, color, religion, or any other status. Human rights includes the rights of freedom, the rights of work and opinion, the rights of work and education, the rights of life and liberty, and many more. Challenging someone their human rights is to challenge their humanity and reduce them to something less than what they are. What they are? This question arises again and again. What they are? They are human beings who deserve respect, dignity, and equality in their nation. And if we are failing to provide them their rights, it means we are diminishing their worth in the nation. Denying people from their human rights is not simply to take away certain privileges or opportunities. It's a direct attack on their identity. Therefore, we can say that protection and respect of human rights is not only a matter of social or political issue, but also deeply a moral one that shows the fundamental essence of the shared humanity. In this essence, this quote reminds us that upholding human rights is not only a matter of policy or charity, but also a matter of acknowledging and honoring the inherent humanity in each one of us. Human rights are universal and essential to ensure that each and every person in their nation is treated with equality and dignity. I would like to conclude my speech with a very powerful quote, which was said by Dalmi Kama, who is known for his non-revolutionary liberation of Tibet. He says, "Peace lies where human rights are respected, where the people are fed and where the individuals and the nation is free. Thank you.
Can you buy the color of the sky, the sparkle of the water, and the fragrance of the flower? Can you? If not, listen to what Chief Seattle says. Good morning to one and all present here, respected Principal Madam, judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. I am Ayan Raza of Standard 11E. Today, I am going to present the famous speech by the Native American Chief Seattle. It's a heart-rending call to save our Mother Earth. Every part of the soil is sacred. Every hillside, every valley, every plain and grove has been followed by some sad or happy events in the days long vanished. Our dead never forgets this beautiful world that gave them being. They still loves these magnificent mountains, glorious lakes, verdant valleys, and a tender fond affection over the lonely heart living. There is no quiet place in the man's cities, no quiet place to hear the unfurling of the leaves in the spring, and no quiet place to hear the rustle of the insects when crying. Then what is there to a life if a person cannot hear the echoing cry of a mighty eagle or chirping of the birds? Day and night cannot dwell together, but it matters little where we pass the remnant of our days. There'll be many. The night promises to be dark, but not a single star of hope in the sky. Man treats his mother, the earth, brother, the sky, and father's father as a thing to be bought, plundered, and sold. This appetite and greed of a man will devour the earth and leave behind only a desert. What legacy you will leave to your children? Remember that we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, but we have borrowed it from our children. So it's our sacred duty to return them intact with the same color of the sky, with the same sparkle of the water, and with the same fragrance of the flower. Now just one question remains, a question that Hamlet had asked: to be or not to be? The choice is yours, but the answer should come soon. Otherwise, it will be far too late. Thank you so much.
Our life begins to come to an end the day we become silent about the things that matter to us. Good morning, everyone. This is Daniel Ahmed representing my class, Standard 12C. Today, I have an opportunity before me to be able to express my views in front of everyone. But before that, I would like to take a moment and express my most ebullient greetings to our Honorable Principal Ma'am, to our esteemed panel of judges, to my incredibly supportive teachers, and also to a very, very lovely audience before me. Now, without any further ado, allow me to begin. We realize the importance of our voices only when we are silenced. This is something that I profoundly want to proclaim today in front of everyone. Imagine with me, if you will, a world where voices are stifled, where dissent is squashed, and where the echoes of injustice reverberate unchallenged. In such a realm, the value of free speech becomes a precious commodity, and its absence becomes a void that gnaws at the very fabric of our society. History stands as a testament to the consequences of silence in the face of oppression. In fact, time and time again, history has proven to us that silence in the face of oppression has always yielded an outcome that has been dire and self-defeating. It has always been dissent that has propelled the human spirit to transmogrify the civilization for the better. From the suffragettes who fought tirelessly for women's rights, to our own unsung freedom fighters who marched defiantly against the colonial enterprise. Each pivotal moment in our collective narrative bears the indelible mark of voices raised in defiance. Let us ponder upon the plight of those who have been systematically silenced throughout the annals of time. The oppressed, the marginalized, the downtrodden. Each and every one of those who have been rendered voiceless by aristocratic systems designed
to maintain and preserve the status quo. Ironically, it is often amidst adversity that the true power of our voices is unveiled. In the dominion of struggle, our words become weapons wielded with precision to dismantle the barriers of ignorance and despotism. But let us all not be deceived into believing or subscribing to the idea that the battle for freedom of expression has been won. Because, spoiler alert, it has been not. Even today, in this digital age, voices are being muffled, our dissent is being suppressed, and the truth is being obscured beneath the heinous veil of misinformation. The cacophony of social media might land us with the impression of freedom, but true liberation only comes when every voice is heard, every opinion is respected, and each and every individual is equally valued. My dear friends, as we stand here today on the precipice of change, I plead you all to carry with us a resolute commitment to the preservation of free speech. Let us all pledge to speak out against injustice, to lend our voices to the chorus of progress, and to never ever forget that our silence only seeks to empower those who are seeking to oppress. As we depart from this gathering, I want you all to listen to me. People on my left and people on my right, people at the back and people seated at the very front. Let us all carry with us a defined commitment to the preservation and conservation of our freedom. Let us all be the torchbearers of truth in a world shrouded in darkness. For it is only through our collective voices that we can mold a future which is hinged on the principles of justice, equality, liberty, fraternity, and egalitarianism. In conclusion, I would like to add that the true measure of a society is not in its monuments or its immense building, but rather it resides in the sole ability of its citizens to be able to express themselves freely and confidently. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning to one and all present here, respected principal ma'am, esteemed judges, my honor-worthy teachers, my skilled competitors, and my fellow students. I am Aditya Singh of 12A, who is elated to stand in front of you in an attempt to articulate two ideas which may seem unrelated but are deeply associated. Two ideas which we always speak of but never together, always distinct. The two ideas which I'm talking about are democracy and environment protection. So, I ask you but a simple question. Do you think, can democracy save the environment? Tracing its origins to even before the Common Era, but taking a formal form only about a couple centuries ago. Time and again, in the words of Plato, it has been authenticated that democracy is a charming form of government, full of variety and disorder, yet dispensing a sort of equality to equals and unequals alike. Throughout time, the very ideas of democracy have been a beacon to mitigate, if not totally eradicate, age-old socio-political issues such as suffrage, rights to freedom, and, of course, equality. But one couldn't help but wonder, what about the issues? What about the issues which we face now? For instance, climate change and environmental protection. The issues which not so long ago could have been considered simply as themes of dystopian fiction. We are living in a grim reality. We are remarkably alive at a time when death by war and disease is gradually being overshadowed by death manifested from the wrath of Mother Nature. We are alive at a time when the seas are engulfing the land, food is losing its taste and nutritional value, air and water are depriving of their purity, and whatnot. So I ask you, what could be the reason behind this? The simple answer is greed. As Charlie Chaplin once said in his The Great Dictator speech, greed has poisoned men's soul, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We use our knowledge, but we are cynical of it. Machinery that gives abundance to life has left us in wants. More than machinery, we need humanity. Our cleverness has made us hard and unkind. More than cleverness, we need gentleness and humility. Without these qualities, life will be lost and all will turn violent. Certainly, on the other hand, everything, I repeat, certainly, on the other hand, we have made some progress. Governments all across have been enacting laws to control pollution, to enhance biodiversity and protect it too, and enforce environmental standards. United we stand, divided we fall. For instance, the UN has laid a strategic foundation plan to counter these issues, and the member states and the member nations the member nations of the UN are weaponizing its schemes such as the UNEP, the UNDP, the UNFCCC, and the SDGs. However, regardless of all this, I wouldn't have been standing here talking about this, addressing this issue, had everything been solved. We are not taking this seriously, and therefore, the questions still looming over our head remains the same. The question is, can democracy save the environment? I ask you once again, do you think that can democracy save the environment? The truth is that whether you like it or not, it is immorally ill to blame the government outright. It is equally our responsibility too. Abraham Lincoln once said in his famous Gettysburg Address that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The true ideals of democracy are, the very true strength of democracy are in its nature of being fair and inclusive. Democracy is a participatory event, but if we do not participate, it quite simply ceases to be a democracy. With realizing that, I urge everyone seated here and everyone you may know, please urge everyone to recall their individual responsibilities and stand together. Only then can we even imagine to counter an issue like this. Only then can we even dream of ending what we call climate change or environmental crisis. Last but not least, in the end, I wish to convey another message. For once on the face of earth, let us not speak any language. For once on the face of earth, let us keep quiet. For once on the face of earth, in this exotic moment, let us forget everything and learn from Mother Earth herself. With that note, I cease my speech. Thank you.
Take care of the earth, and the earth will take care of you. A very pleasant good morning to one and all present here. This is Kirti Ranjan from Standard 12E, and I am here to express my views on a very special topic. Can democracy save the environment? Popularly, we all know democracy as the government of the people, by the people, for the people. We all are aware that it's a system where people choose their own government. But the question here is, how does it help the environment? What is the relation between these two? For answering this, we need to understand one thing. What forms the backbone of a democracy? Accountability. Democracy ensures that our leaders and decision makers remain accountable to us for their actions and decisions. It provides us with the mechanism to ensure that the promises made are kept, that our resources are used judiciously, and the well-being of people and planet remain at the forefront. Democracy provides the best platform for the deliberations, discussions, debates required for addressing the environmental issues. It formulates and brings a lot of different responses from a lot of different people to the problem of environmental degradation. But why only democracies do so? Why not other forms of government? Well, the answer is the rights and freedoms enjoyed by people in a democracy. In a democracy, people are better aware about the environmental problems. Due to the freedom of speech and free press, they can easily express their grievances regarding their environment and can mount pressure on the government through civil societies, associations, debates, etc. Democracy gives us the right to raise our concerns regarding our environment and get an answer for them. It gives us the opportunity to involve in policy making for our environment. And we all deserve these rights and opportunities. After all, we are all taxpayers, aren't we? But still, these rights, these opportunities, they aren't provided in the autocracies where the information is restricted, where there is no freedom of speech and people are not even aware of the environmental issues of their country. It's even argued that democracies have relatively better environmental performance than non-democracies because they tend to invest more in environmental technologies and such stricter environmental regulations. And it's obvious, where people will be aware of the problem, where they will have the chance to participate in the solution, results are always going to be better. All these points prove that why a democracy is any day better than any other form of government when it comes to environmental safety. At last, I would just like to remind everybody that a democracy is a gift given to us by our constitution makers, but we do have a duty towards it. Democracy provides us with a chance at a better life, and it's our duty to let democracy live. Thank you.
A very warm good morning to one and all present here. Respected Principal Madam, honorable jury members, teachers, and my dear friends. Myself, Priya Kumari from class 12B, and I'm going to express my opinions on empowering democracy. Today, we gather to celebrate a cornerstone of modern civilization, democracy. Michael Moore once said that democracy is not a spectator sport. So, what is democracy? It's a question that has echoed through the corridors of history, debated by philosophers, statesmen, and ordinary citizens alike. At its core, democracy is not just a system of governance, it's a philosophy that embodies the principles of equality, freedom, and justice. It's a beacon of hope for millions around the world, offering a voice to the voiceless and power to the people. The origin of democracy can be traced back to ancient Greece, particularly to city-state of Athens in the 5th century before the Common Era. The idea of democracy experienced a resurgence during the Enlightenment period in Europe, where philosophers like John Locke and Montesquieu espoused the principles of popular sovereignty and individual rights. One of the greatest democrats of all time, Abraham Lincoln, in his famous Gettysburg Address, which was delivered amidst the turmoil of the Civil War, Lincoln spoke of a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. With these words, he eloquently captured the essence of democracy, the belief that every individual possesses inherent dignity and deserves equal rights and opportunities. In his words, democracy is a moral imperative. It is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Democracy is often associated with success due to its potential to foster accountability, stability, and transparency. Some scholars argue that democracies are less likely to go to war with each other, a concept known as democratic peace theory. Democracy is a bulwark against tyranny and oppression, providing a safeguard against the abuse of power. It ensures that no one is above the law and that institutions are designed to prevent the concentration of power in the hand of a single individual or group. But democracy is not without its challenges. It requires constant vigilance and active participation from citizens to thrive. It demands respect for diversity and tolerance for dissenting opinions. It necessitates compromise and dialogue, even in the face of disagreement. Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. With these immortal words said by Sir Franklin D. Roosevelt, let us recommit ourselves to its principles. Let us honor the sacrifices of those who have fought and died for democracy. In today's interconnected world, democracy faces new threats. From the rise of authoritarianism to the spread of disinformation and polarization. Yet, despite these challenges, democracy endures, a beacon of hope for those who yearn for freedom and justice. So let's honor them and strive to build a world where people are unfamiliar with the meaning of sacrifices, and let's strive to build a nice world. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all present here. Respected Principal Madam, jury members, my teachers, and my dear friends. I, Krish Kumar, representative of Class 12C, is here to ponder my views on can democracy save environment. In the vast tapestry of our existence, there exists a fragile thread that binds us all together. The environment. It is the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the land on which we walk. Yet, this thread is fragging at an alarming rate, threatened by nefarious human appetitic progresses. At this point of time, we ponder upon a cruel question. Can democracy save environment? Democracy, with its cornerstone principle of equality, liberty, and fraternity, offers beacon of hope that admits the gathering storm of environmental degradation. At its core, democracy empowers individuals, communities, and nations to voice their concern to change and safeguard our environment for our future generation. Moreover, democracy reflects accountability, transparency, and dialogue, essential ingredients for effective environment governance. At its core, democracy discourages stakeholders, facilitating the exchange of ideas and that can provide tracking of environment conservation. Democracy plays a crucial role in development. If development is taking place without keeping in mind of environment, the consequences can be quite disastrous. In the recent days in Dubai and in India, the heat waves are more than enough to make ourselves discomfort. Yet, democracy is not without flaws and challenges. Due to short-term political interests and due to short-term political gains, it is very difficult for ourselves and for the world that continues to be environmental ill. I would like to conclude my speech by a quote. There is sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Abhishek Kumar of class 11D. Today, I request you all to please allow me to utilize this opportunity and talk on a very important topic that we all should have a fair knowledge on it. And my topic is about democracy. Democracy is a system of government that the citizens have rights to vote and elect a government of their own. India became the democratic country after the independence of British in 1947. Now India is the democratic nations in the whole world. Democracy in India gives its citizens the rights to vote and elect the members they want. And it has five democratic principles. They are sovereignty, secularism, Socialist, Democratic and Republic. Various political parties stands for the elections at the states and national levels. Periodically, they appropriate the about the rights and appropriates the rights and opportunities accomplished in their world, in their society. Now I like to say that peoples know about the candidates who are standing for the elections and must be chosen for the best for our governance. India has to be said the successful democratic nations and but certain of hopeless to be called that the government works on the implanting poverty, illiteracy, communalism and caste discriminations and casteism in order to ensure democracy in the true sense. Thank you.
A very warm morning to one and all present here. I, Phool Kumari Hansda of class 11C, stand before you today to discuss a topic that is fundamental for our society and our identity as citizens. Democracy. The word for democracy is Jananayakam. That means people are the leaders. Democracy is an incredible concept that empowers individual and ensures that everyone has a voice. It is a system where power lies with the people, giving every individual the opportunity to participate in the decision-making processes and having a say in shaping their society. Democracy encourages freedom of speech, expression, and assembly, giving every individual the opportunity to voice their opinions and ideas without fear. It provides equality as every citizen's vote carries equal weight regardless of their background or social status. Democracy also fosters accountability and transparency. Elected officials are responsible to the people who elected them, and they are expected to act as their best interest for the people. Citizens have the right to hold their leaders accountable for their actions and decisions. However, democracy is not without its challenges. It requires an engaged and informed citizenry who actively participate in the democratic processes. It also requires compromises, as different opinions and different ideas are to be considered in order to make progress. So, let's embrace the power of democracy and recognize the importance of our voice and votes. Together we can shape a society that reflects our values and encourages a brighter future for all. Thank you.
The biggest threat that we all are facing till date is climate change. Good morning to one and all present here. I am Aditya Kumar of Standard 12B, standing in front of you to express my views and opinion on climate change. We all want to solve our climate crisis, but the perception of society towards climate change is fictitious. Seems like happening to someone else's planet. In the last couple of decades, excessive rainfall, droughts, hurricanes, storms have increased massively and won't stop getting worse unless we help. We are experiencing extreme weather conditions like increased temperatures, global warming. To be clear, this is not just to say people to change their light bulbs or to buy a hybrid car, but the problem has gone beyond our calculated boundaries. Recently, the coastline city of UAE, Dubai, has faced severe rainfall, storms, which had led to huge devastation of human life and property. The world governments are taking decisive large-scale decisions to tackle this problem, like investing in renewable sources of energy, spreading awareness about recycling waste, waste management. Yeah. Now the time is very short for us to conserve our planet. We all can take small steps like planting more trees, reusing plastic bags, recycling used papers, walking more, driving less, which could contribute to our environment safety. The total world population is 7 billion, which means 7 billion assets to conserve our planet. So, now, like our principal ma'am has taken an initiative like plant one, everyone plant one. So we can support these type of ideas to encourage environment safety. So 7 billion people, one small change can make a big difference. Thank you. The choice is yours.
In the words of Anurag Singh Thakur, India is a beacon of hope that democracy can thrive and is strengthened by diversity, not weakened. And a very warm good morning to everyone present here, respected Principal Ma'am, worthy teachers, and my dear fellow mates. I am Drishti Agrawal of Standard 11A, standing before you all to highlight my views on democracy is the beacon of hope. Democracy in practice now is under strain everywhere, and decision making has become a problem. This is apparently never an end to arguments and protests even after the matter has been discussed, argued and amended as per the guidelines of the Constitution. The different lobbies that the democratic process encourages due to electoral compulsion is now working at cross purpose, encouraging inefficiency, violence and disruption of normal life. However, the path of democracy is not without obstacles. In the recent years, democracy has faced many challenges worldwide, such as erosion of democratic norms like attack on the independence of judiciary, freedom of speech and rule of law, economic inequality that undermines the inclusivity of democracy, disinformation like in digital age, spreading misinformation and manipulating public opinions through social media, voter suppression, populism, polarization are other such obstacles in the path of democracy. But even in a time of new threats to democracy, social movements around the world are expanding the scope of democratic inclusion. Despite these challenges, democracy as a system stands out as a beacon of hope in the grand tapestry of political systems, offering numerous attributes that makes it a cherished form of government. Its ability to adapt and respond to emerging threats is a testament to its strength. It is when democracy stops working, when conflicts are not peacefully resolved, that violent separatist movements and other religious conflicts emerge. If democracies are to prevail, their leaders must do more than spotlight. They must do better job to meet national and global challenges and ensure deliveries at a time-bound manner. Therefore, it is wisely said by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar that democracy is a way of life that recognizes liberty, equality and fraternity as the principles of life. A democracy can only flourish when divergent voices can be freely heard without the fear of an official. It's now high time for us to have a relook on democracy the way it is being practiced now with a new perspective and make it more accountable. We need to strike a balance between argument and execution, between protest and acceptance, and the democratic setup needs to improve efficiency for fast and better results. This is the thought I really want to leave you with today, that it's not adequate to hope that others will protect our democracy, but we all as citizens have a responsibility to do our part. Thank you.
A very warm good morning to one and all present here. Respected Principal Madam, our eminent judges, our hardworking teachers and all my friends. I am Anushka Kumari Rai of class 12A, and today I am going to originally enunciate the speech given by Malala Yousafzai into the United Nations. So here I represent the speech. Dear brothers and sisters, do remember one thing. Malala Day is not my day. It is the day of every woman, every boy and every girl who have raised their voices for their rights. There are hundreds of human rights activists and hundreds of social workers who are not just speaking for their rights, but are struggling to achieve their goals of equality, education. There are millions of people killed by the terrorists and millions were injured. I am one among many. So here I stand, one girl among many. I speak not for myself, but so those without the voices can be heard. Those who have raised their voices for their rights, right to be treated with dignity, right to be live in peace, right to equality of opportunity and education. Dear friends, on 9th of October 2012, Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friend too. They thought that the bullet would silence us, but they failed. And out of that silence came thousands of voices. The terrorists thought that they will kill my aims and stop my ambitions. But in reality, nothing changed except this: weakness, fear, hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. I'm the same Malala. My dreams are the same. My ambitions are the same. So, dear friends, today I'm focusing on women's rights and girls' education because they have suffered the most. There was a time when women used to ask men to speak up for their rights, but this time we will do it ourselves. No, I'm not telling men to step away from speaking for women's rights. Rather, I'm focusing on women to be more independent and more confident to fight for themselves. Dear friends, dear brothers and sisters, this is the time to speak up. We need schools. We need education for every child's bright future. We will continue our journey to peace and education, and nothing can stop us. Our words can change the world. We will speak for our rights, and we will bring change through our voice. We know that education is the only solution. So let us empower ourselves by the knowledge, and let us shield ourselves from unity and togetherness. Dear friends, don't forget that there are millions of people who are suffering from poverty, ignorance, and injustice. There are millions of children out of their schools. There are our brothers and sisters who are waiting for a peaceful, bright future. So let us pick our books and pens because they are the most peaceful weapons. Let us pick up our books because they are the most peaceful weapons. Just remember one thing: one teacher, one child, one book, and one pen can change the whole world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.